What's up, y'all? Today we're gonna be watching someone build a PC for $300. Let's see how this goes.
FPS for less. What build are you doing right now?
I'm doing a $300 build.
Good luck. Dude, good job!
At 300 bucks. What kind of gaming PC can you build for $300? And more importantly, what is it capable of? First, we need the CPU, the motherboard, now the GPU, RAM, next, SSD, power supply, case, and then a cooler. Let's do it. First thing I found was a RAM. Surprisingly, there was someone selling a 32 gig set for $30.
Facebook Marketplace.
I offered 25 and the seller accepted. We scored a set of King Bank 32 gig, 3200 megahertz for $25. We're now down to 275.
Never heard of
The
that
next thing I
brand,
found was someone selling a random 500 gig Gen 3 SSD. I offered $20 and the seller accepted.
And
And 500 gigs. That'll work. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Yeah, have a good one. Full disclosure, this SSD is a bit sketchy. Under normal circumstances, I just recommend picking up a Gen 3 or Gen 4 1 terabyte for $50 on Amazon. But we're sticking to the budget. We're now down to $255 and we have the RAM and SSD. Next, I found someone selling a white 3060 for $175. I knew they wouldn't take 100, so I offered 125, hoping I could make up the difference elsewhere. They were also selling a case I didn't really want, but it was white and matched the GPU. So I just offered
Dude, Facebook
$25 for it and they accepted.
Gold mine.
My husband's at work.
Okay.
And I don't know how to deal with this stuff, so I just left the motherboard in there.
Oh,
You
okay.
can do with it what you please.
Okay.
This is not the box
Yeah,
that that this one came in. This is the
Yeah.
box to my new one.
Yeah, no worries.
And also we bought this to go with this case, but then my husband got me a new case.
Oh, okay.
So you can have that too.
Cool. Perfect. Appreciate it.
Gamer life.
Let me just check this out really quick.
Absolutely.
So I put this on YouTube. Are you okay with being on YouTube? I could blur your face out if you have a problem with it. Yeah. Well, awesome. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, that looked good for freaking. How much did he pay?
There's,
125
like,
for
any
all?
problems or anything with it, just send me a message.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Very much appreciate it. Have a good one. After picking up the case and GPU for $150, the seller just gave me the motherboard and processor that was in the case. So we scored a free Z370E motherboard and an i5-8400.
That's not a
Not
bad
exactly
motherboard.
the motherboard and processor I want, but we'll take it for free. And there's a CPU cool on that too, so I have a phone there's a CPU.
Dude, a free. That's not bad at all.
You know, so boyfriend or husband's gonna be pissed.
An i5-8400.
Now this is where the plan takes a turn. So my daughter's computer has been giving her problems and she's been due for an upgrade. So the plan was now to give her this computer, except she wants a black and orange themed build. Now she's not picky. If I built her a white PC, she'd be completely okay with it. But I know the aesthetics would go a lot better in her room if it was black and orange. So I'll use this for a build if I have to, but for now it's back to the drawing board. Luckily I've been in talks with someone for an RTX 2080 and I have them down to 135. But really, $125 is the absolute limit. I gave him another couple days and sent a follow-up message, just letting him know that for $125, I could pick it up immediately. I got a casual thumbs up on the message, thought we were in the clear until I got a notification that he marked the listing as sold.
Oh
that
my
hurts.
god.
I shouldn't have been so greedy and just agreed to the $135. I proceeded to message everyone selling a 3060, 6600 XTs, 2070 Supers, and even 2080s, but to no luck. I decided to switch over to OfferUp and found someone selling a 2080 for $180. I sent a message offering $125 and they agreed. How's it going?
I have a 4060 and that's not even that great.
Garrett.
That's right. Oh, Gary.
Yeah.
My bad.
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
So I'm
Like I
assuming
said,
everything's all good with this?
You have a test bench?
I didn't bring one with me.
It is all good.
Yeah.
I tried cleaning up as best as I could. There's a little bit of dust on it, but
Yeah, no worries. Cool.
but like I said, everything worked on it just fine when I had it. So
Yeah.
and it's just been sitting in my case.
Cool,
you're
appreciate it.
welcome.
Well, thank you very
You have a
much.
good one.
Yeah, you have a good one. The GPU is a bit sketchy, and you can tell people have taken it apart before, but this is what we're going with. So we're now down to $130. During all of this, I was of course messaging everyone that had any of the parts I needed for the budget I had. After messaging dozens of people for a motherboard, offering $40 and being denied, one popped up for $10. A B450 Carbon Edition for $10. It had to be a scam,
I had
but I
a
messaged them
B450.
anyways. After a few back and forth messages,
Or no,
we
I had a
agreed to a time and
570.
city location for the next day. The following day, I tried to reestablish
I bought a
contact, but
570X.
nothing. Then I get a notification that the listing description changed, and then it said, due to overwhelming amount of messages, first come, first serve. I sent another message like, I thought we were meeting at this time. They responded and said we were. Hey, how's it going? How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I just put it inside. Thank you
Okay,
so much.
not a problem. Appreciate it. Good one, thank you.
Dude, $10 and the IO.
See, it's literally hand off the money. It's only $10 at least.
Here it is, B450 for 10 bucks. Pretty sketchy. Definitely not confident that it's working,
Dude,
but we'll
what?
take it. We're now down to 120 bucks. Now that we secured an AM4 board, I knew finding a Ryzen 5 3600 for $40 would be easy. It didn't take long.
That was
I
my
found
first
someone who had one
CPU.
listed on OfferUp for $70. I offered $40 and the seller agreed. How's it going?
My first CPU was the Ryzen 5 3600X. And then I had an RX 580 that I got for $60 from a friend. I think the most I spent was on the RAM.
How are you?
How's it going with you?
Good.
Oh yeah.
So there's no bent pins or nothing?
No, I actually just checked as well, just
Did
to
you?
make sure.
Cool. Well, I very much appreciate it. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, watch my videos. If you need any help, just send me a message, Dan.
Oh, yeah, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. Have a good one.
Now we're down to 80 bucks. But all we need is a case, power supply, and CPU cooler.
Not
Oh my
bad.
God, cases are a joke. Seriously, just buy a case for 50, 60 bucks on Amazon. People want $100 for their 10-year-old PC case that still has DVD drives in them. I messaged so many people as if I didn't learn my lesson from the $500 build. I was getting so desperate, I was just trying to find a cheap power supply so I could just buy a $50 case. But after a day, we found someone said,
I went with an all red and black theme, obviously, same as I still do. But yeah, no, I had a Fanatec, I think. Fanatec? Pretty sure it's Fanatec. Everything has to be red and black, bro. That's just how I do.
selling a fish tank style case from a pre-built for $30. Now normally I wouldn't be interested, but it looked decent. The case was made by Montech and it could hold a full-size ATX motherboard we picked up.
I'm doing a YouTube video, and yeah, and so this is going to be. Oh yeah, I'm doing a $300 computer build, and so that's why I'm trying to find a case that was cheap enough to match. That's why when you're like, I got this power supply, and it's like, dude, I have a really small budget for a power supply. So cool, I appreciate it. Well, thank you very much.
Actually, your power supply doesn't have power supply too. I mean, you do want to cheap one.
What's that?
This one is like 650 watt.
I'm using a 2080, and so I have to have a 750 minimum.
Oh, 2080, I got it.
Yeah. So.
300 bucks with 2080.
Yeah, I already got it for 125 bucks. I know, it's crazy. I actually said the same thing. Awesome, dude. I appreciate it.
Enjoy, yeah.
Yeah, have a good one.
Got some nice fans in it.
Case.
Nothing special.
Cool.
Case secured. We're now down to 50 bucks. At this point, people wanted $30 for their AM4 stock cooler on Marketplace. And considering you can pick up a decent cooler on Amazon for 20 bucks, that was the new plan. Assuming I could find a power supply for $30, and because we got a 2080, it has to be at least a 750 watt. I messaged
Bro, I bought a Corsair RGB 850 watt power supply. Never saw the RGB because it was pointed down at the floor. And then I had a... No, it might have been a C... No, it was definitely Corsair. Because I bought 3 fans, too.
everyone that had a power supply that was over 750 watt. I didn't even care about the PSU tier list at this point. And then a new listing popped up really close. An 850 watt, fully modular RGB power supply from Red Dragon, listed for 60 bucks. I sent a message offering 30 and the seller accepted.
How's it going?
Oh, good.
Very much appreciate it.
Absolutely, man.
How's it going?
Going great.
Good. So all the cables and stuff are here?
Yeah,
well, the
everything's
important ones
started.
anyways. That's all I need. So
Yeah.
thank you so
All right.
much.
Sweet, man. Well, good luck, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. It'll be on YouTube, FPS for Less, if you're curious.
I'm gonna go look that up right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice to be, by the way.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, FPS for less. What build are you doing right now?
I'm doing a $300 build.
Good luck.
Yeah, this is the last piece.
Oh,
Very
sweet.
last part. So-
what's the specs then right now?
2080 is what I
You
ended
got a
up getting.
2080 in the budget? Dude, good
Dude,
job.
$125. I got a 2080 for it. And then I ended up getting
Yeah,
a
that's crazy.
B450 for $10. I was messaging people at $40 and people were like, no, I want 50, I want 60. It's like, I'm not gonna spend that much on the B450.
No.
And then I'm on it constantly.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden one popped up for $10. And I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
And I mean, I haven't tested it yet. That's part of the fun of the video, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is to see if it all works. But yeah, and
That's
then
so
I
funny.
got a Ryzen 5 3600 for the processor.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
My brother actually just started an LLC for a PC company, and they're doing 2 builds right now, and they're about to benchmark them. And him and his 2 friends just invested in that, so I'm eager to see what happens, because I will definitely purchase one in the future. Perhaps get a partnership with my own brother.
Yeah. Well, cool. I very much appreciate it. Yeah, this is literally going to be the next video I'm going to start working on. So
Yeah.
this will probably be the very next video released on the
Sick.
channel.
Good luck to you,
Yeah,
man.
for sure. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
We'll keep in touch. Have a good one.
Yeah.
I couldn't even find a 10-year-old Corsair 750 watt for $30, and we ended up scoring a better power supply than we could have imagined. Fully modular, with a 12-volt high-power connection, and it's B-tier. After that, I found a cheap $20 cooler on Amazon, and we officially had all the parts secured at exactly $300. Now the plan is to do an orange and black theme, so I ordered some optional orange cable extensions. The grill of the case had some rust spots, so I thought it'd be a fun idea to sand it down and paint it orange as well. Now that we had everything and the paint was dry, it was time to clean up the case. First, I wiped everything down, removed the stickers, swapped out the case fans, and installed the newly painted vent panels. I also picked up these really cool anodized orange screws to use for the case. Now let's get this computer assembled. First, we have our MSI B450 Gaming Pro Carbon Max Wi-Fi motherboard we got for $10. There's a reason it was so cheap. Not sure if you caught it yet, but something's missing on this motherboard that I clearly didn't notice yet. Next, we have our processor, the
No.
Ryzen 5 3600. We
Shout
got
out
for $40.
Ryzen 5
And right off the
3600.
bat, we encounter our first major issue. The pins are bent on the CPU.
So there's no bent pins or nothing?
No, I actually just checked this around
Did you?
sure.
It was time to call Hillary down to have her start bending these things back. After that, we installed the RAM, 32 gigs, 3200 megahertz
not bad. I've
CL16
just
we
never
got for
heard of King
$25. Next, SSD, a 500 gig Gen 3 SSD we got for $20.
SK
And then our
Hynix is
CPU
good, too.
cooler. I clearly made the same mistake Zach did and got this 100mm CPU cooler that looks a bit weird being smaller than the fans. But it's not a big deal and it still does the job.
That
This was
thing's
$20
nice,
on
bro.
Amazon and the only new part we used. Next, we dropped the motherboard into the case. And now for the power supply. We got this 850 watt Red Dragon fully modular power supply for $30. And here's the next major setback that actually just destroyed the challenge. After installing the 24 pin CPU cables, I noticed the PCI cables weren't installing properly. After inspecting them, I noticed the connectors don't match the power supply. And I also noticed the PSU end of the connector say PSU when the other ones have some kind of model number on them. That's when I realized that the PCIe cables don't belong to the power supply. The entire challenge was butchered. Not only was a 12-volt high power cord missing, but the PCI cables were wrong.
So all the cables and stuff are here?
Yeah,
well, the
everything's
important
out of
ones
there.
anyways. That's all I need. So
Yeah?
So I reached out to the seller. He got back to me and offered to look for the cables. After 3 days of not hearing anything and not having more time to wait, I just used the power supply I already had on hand. This is the EVGA 750
That's
watt
nice.
G6 that I picked up during the $1,000 build for $50.
good. And $50. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no
Very
problem.
much appreciated.
That's really interesting.
Awesome.
What did you say? FPS for less?
Shout out the shirt. Yeah, yes. I used to listen to Maps all the time and play it on Rock Band.
Yes, for less, yeah.
Now the seller did get back to me and told me that he bought the power supply used, and he had a 3-to-1 core to use for his 4080. 3 PCIe to 12-volt high power. I'm sure it was never the intent for the seller to do me wrong, but it definitely destroyed our challenge. So our build went from $300 to $350 just like that. To be fair, every bit of these problems could have been avoided. The proper thing to do is to bring a test bench and thoroughly inspect all parts. But I know most of you don't have a test
Facts.
bench and don't know exactly what to look for. So I just allowed myself to fall for any problems that occurred. After installing the new power supply and plugging everything in, it was time for the GPU. And this is when I finally realized what was missing on the motherboard. The PCIe retention clip to hold the GPU in. I honestly can't believe I didn't notice that sooner, but it should be fine. After installing the GPU, I fired it up to see if it posts. Not only
Pretty
did
nice.
everything work, which is a shock in itself, but the SSD already had Windows installed on it. I followed up with some cable management and we're done. So the original cost, we were at exactly $300. After having to get a new power supply, it bumped it up to $350. Now that it's all together, let's see what this thing's actually capable of. So the goal from the beginning with this $300 build was to get 60 plus FPS with Borderlands 4. We had to turn the settings down, but with DLSS set to balance, we got over 60 FPS without frame gen. I'll call that a win. But let's check out a few other games. Next, Cyberpunk. 1080p, ray tracing set to low with texture quality set to high, and no frame gen, full native. We got an average FPS of 81.
That's not
Next,
bad.
Marvel Rivals. 1080p, medium settings, DLSS set to quality, and frame gen off. We got an average FPS of 73. Fortnite, 1080p, performance mode, we were averaging 160 FPS. And for our 3D Mark Time Spy score, we got 10,209. And there we have it, wildly impressive build for what should have been $300. And had I been more diligent, it could have been. All I had to do is check the power supply cords and plug them into the unit, and this would have all been avoided. Obviously, all the aesthetics were optional, but at the end of the day, it was just $25 on cable extensions, $10 on hardware, and $8 on a can of spray paint. I hope this build shows that you don't need to spend a ton of money to enjoy the latest games.
Yeah, that's not bad at all, dude. All right, that's a wrap on that. As always, remember to subscribe. Come hang out for the next video. Twitch is Misery and Death. I will be doing live videos of The Outer Worlds, still playing through that. Kick is miseryanddeath.gaming. TikTok is miseryanddeath.gaming_. Instagram is also miseryanddeath.gaming_. And yeah, see you guys next video.